Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I am playing WWE 2K15 on the PlayStation 3, the Who Got NXT mode with Corey Graves. The first match is Corey Graves versus Seth Rollins. Here he comes, Corey Graves, born in 1984, debuted in wrestling in the year 2000.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the Sunset Strip, weight 208 pounds, Corey Graves.
Other than the commentators. Anyway, took him 11 years to get to WWE. Probably most renowned for his run in the British promotion One Pro Wrestling. Debuted at their first event, A Cruel Twist of Fate in 2005, defeating D'Lo Brown. It was called A Cruel Twist of Fate because Matt Hardy was supposed to headline after he'd been fired by WWE, but then was re-signed, so they changed the name to A Cruel Twist of Fate and got lots of ex-WWE superstars on that show. He took him 2 years before defeating Ulf Herman, who was in ECW, for a short amount of time to win the 1PW World Heavyweight Championship and held the title for 554 days before losing it to Martin Stone at To The Extreme. So what a reign he had with the 1PW Championship. I remember him defending it against Raven at, I think it was the 3rd anniversary show, when he was known as Sterling James Keenan. Here is The Shield. It's weird hearing The Shield music in the NXT Arena.
And approaching the ring, accompanied by Dean Ambrose. From Davenport, Iowa, weight 217 pounds, Seth Rollins.
No Roman Reigns.
NXT champion stalking his way to the ring. Yeah, he was the first ever NXT champion, but now he's known perhaps infamously as 1/3 of the Shield.
So was signed, Corey Graves signed to WWE in 2011 and wrestled in Florida Championship Wrestling and then NXT until he was forced to retire, I believe, due to concussion in 2014. He's been a successful broadcaster ever since for WWE.
Look at that piercing stare of the savior of misbehavior king. Oh, Corey Graves has unfinished business with the Shield Code. He claims they cost him the NXT title not once, but twice. That's the look of a determined man, no doubt. Graves has promised to put Rollins down tonight, which I don't doubt. But can he keep him down? That's the big question. Reversal. There's a drop kick. What's this? No!
Oh, it was like a I can't even say it. Blockbuster, but went into a kind of leg drop. I don't really know.
Oh man, that was a sick thud when he hit the.
I haven't really watched much of Corey Graves in this era. Whoa, what was that? Required a pay TV subscription to watch, which I didn't have. And then by the time I could watch around 2014, poor Corey Graves had already had to retire, I think due to concussion. So he's a really good broadcaster now on Raw, really great announcer. But after his 1PW run, I didn't really see much of him wrestling, but he had some sporadic appearances in Ring of Honor. Those on a couple of old DVDs I have, along with a terrific Joe vs. Punk 2, which was the hour draw.
I'm not sure many of the
Chop block, chop block.
Seth Rollins has in this business what we call all the tools.
Knee bar.
Rollins is lightning fast. He can get on that mat and wrestle. He can brawl. He can soar through the air. Oh, did I say? Seth Rollins is fearless.
So these two did wrestle before in NXT when Seth Rollins was the NXT champion, and Corey Graves did win via disqualification when the Shield interfered.
Do you hear it?
And this is kind of the rematch once Seth is on the main roster. Another knee bar.
Don't worry about Rollins, Cole. He knows what he's doing. You don't ever forget how to compete.
During the era when Moxley was kind of the leader of the Shield, and Reigns and Seth Rollins generally tagged, and they were tag champions on a few occasions. I think 3 occasions.
All the success Seth Rollins has experienced is only the beginning. If you don't believe it, just ask him.
So Corey Graves spent his time in Florida Championship Wrestling before coming over to NXT. And won the Florida Championship Wrestling tag titles along with the NXT tag title.
And there goes Rollins. Oh man, Rollins was dropped like a sack of potatoes. You know, because of the outfits he wears and his overall appearance, many people take Corey Graves lightly, and that is a huge, ridiculous maneuver by Corey Graves.
Submit him with the Lucky 13, which is kind of like a rolling figure 4.
It's locked in. This is such a
And it's over. Seth Rollins has tapped out. Corey Graves is victorious. Here is your winner.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves with a big win over Seth Rollins. Yeah, and if anybody doubted Corey Graves before, they sure as heck don't anymore. What an amazing performance by the savior of misbehavior.
It's actually quite weird seeing him in wrestling attire because I'm so used to seeing him in a suit now. Even with his neck tattoos and his arm tattoos and his tattoos on his hands, he has done a fantastic job transitioning into an announcer. But won the tag titles, the Florida tag titles, with Jake Carter. The next match is Corey Graves versus Bray Wyatt. And if you're wondering who Jake Carter is, it is Vader's son.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the Sunset Strip, weight 208 pounds, Corey Graves.
And just to make this match a little bit more interesting, Jake Carter and Corey Graves defeated Husky Harris and Bo Dallas, or the Rotundas, for the FCW Tag Team Championship. And then Corey Graves' other championship would be the NXT Tag Team titles, with Neville, who'd hold the titles for 76 days. And just to make things more weird, they defeated the Wyatt family of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. So he's 2 tag title reigns, defeating 3 members of the Wyatt family and Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas. And I'm pretty sure in FCW they were known as the Rotundas. I hope Bray Wyatt comes back like as a Rotunda, like Wyndham Rotunda, a modern day taxman. That would be really awesome. Can stay away from the spooky gimmick for a while. He could always come back to it a bit like Matt Hardy.
We're here.
Such classic entrance music. The fireflies in the audience. Here he is, the wild man of NXT, Bray Wyatt, leader of the Wyatt family. In his mouth. Currently, not with any wrestling company, waiting for his no-compete to expire. Maybe he'll be in AEW by the time this video releases. Like a modern day... I've forgotten the guy's name. Waylon Mercy, that's it. Waylon Mercy. Randy Orton set that rocking chair on fire when they had Extreme Rules. In 2020, the Inferno match, when The Fiend got burnt to a crisp. And then the crispy version came back, which some people say was Bo Dallas. Wyatt came back.
I tried to talk to Bray Wyatt earlier today, and he said, "Get away from me, journalist man." Journalist man? I'm tired of your questions. Well, I can relate to that. I'm tired of your questions too, Cole. Thanks for the support, King. I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that as we get underway here with Bray Wyatt versus Corey Graves in one-on-one action. Drop kick. He didn't need a GPS to find the mark. And another drop kick. Bray goes down.
We're going to work on the legs. I don't know why I keep working on the arms, but we're working. Going to work on the legs.
No, not again. I tried to talk to Bray Wyatt earlier today, and he said, "Get away from me, journalist man." Journalist man? I'm tired of your questions. Well, I can relate to that. I'm tired of your questions too, Cole. Thanks for the support, gang. I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that as we get underway here with Bray Wyatt versus Corey Graves in one-on-one action. Corey Graves going for it.
Going to work over the legs. Work over the legs of Bray. Into this knee bar. Lots of knee bar submissions. But I'm not allowed to use the Lucky 13 submission.
With his prodigious offense. Ouch.
Bray does counter a lot as well, so you gotta be wary. You'll be really wary. And it's the 3 moves of Graves as well. It's the knee bar, the running drop kick, and the shin breaker. So no Cena 5 moves of doom. It is the Graves 3 moves of doom.
But he was happy to trade blows with them. Yeah, and he never gave up, despite being outmanned 3-1. Great reversal.
There's Bray Wyatt looking like a modern day Waylon Mercy.
And down he goes. Very, very painful hold here. What's he gonna do? Oh, you're not gonna last long here. No, it's time to fight out or tap out, King. There's just no ignoring Corey Graves and what he brings to the table inside that ring. Yeah, I think Bray Wyatt is learning that the hard way right about now. Bray Wyatt may have underestimated Corey Graves, King. We've seen it happen many times in the past. They see Graves' appearance and immediately overlook his athleticism in the ring. You know, the moves that Bray Wyatt has at his disposal are vicious. One is more severe than the next. Let's face it, his throw suplex, clotheslines, cross body, the avalanche, and running senton can put anyone away. Oh, yeah. And seeing that spider walk, that'll give you nightmares for months. And did you hear the...
Once Bray gets in control, it's really hard to get the momentum back.
Somebody who's a genius. The question is, which is
And he
Bray
counters a
Wyatt?
lot of your things as well.
Will tell you he's a genius. Bray Wyatt has been able to turn him into subservient followers as well as NXT Tag Team Championship. Well, maybe he is a genius after all. I can't think of anybody else who can control those two madmen. Uh-oh. What do we even
The
see
strikes
here?
seem to always be too early or too late. You just have to watch out for him getting a signature and a finisher.
Oh!
Because if he does, it's pretty much game over. See, too fast, too slow, too fast, too slow.
That soup's going to be on his diet for the foreseeable future.
Oh, how did that miss?
Dropped! And that was a hard, hard shot.
Keep working on this shin breaker. We just need to get a signature. And the signature is the running chop block. You can't use a finisher.
Wyatt is so dangerous on so many different levels. And he dodges
No, we don't want counter. We don't want countering. Weird.
He may get the 3 count right here. And he does it one more time. Ooh. Just trying to goad his opponent into making a mistake here. All respect given, it looks like Bray Wyatt could be on the bad end of this match. The damage has definitely been done.
Uranagi, oh no. Uranagi.
He's out.
Got a finisher. Oh, this is bad.
Hooking away, and the shoulders come up. Whoa, he's measuring.
Oh, Sister Abigail. Gonna try and kick out. There's no escape. I need the escape.
Hooks the leg. 2.
It's kicked out. It's kicked out.
How awesome was that?
Oh, how has he escaped the knee bar? Oh, that'll do. Don't counter the finisher. Well, it's not a finisher. Is this knee bar? Knee bar! Knee bar!
He's had enough. This could be it.
No, he's used resiliency. Oh, I didn't know he had resiliency. That is so annoying. Got to get him down again. I can use the knee bar again, though. I just can't use my finisher.
Yeah, but what's he going to do next? Oh, mama! He was one step ahead on that one. Corey Graves gathering attention in a hurry. Corey Graves with the offense.
Knee bar.
Submission hold locked in. We may see
It's over. Brace tapped. Brace tapped. I've never seen Bray tap ever.
The referee's calling for
Corey Graves has
Here's your
won.
winner, Corey Graves.
Woo, that was hard.
wins it. Oh man, Corey Graves says he wants to make sports entertainment dangerous again. I think he just did. Wow, what a win!
I'm gonna have to see if that actually happened in real life. I assume it did. I assume this is what really happened in NXT at the time. I probably should have looked it up beforehand. But Corey Graves, I'm exhausted. Woo. This is more exhausting than actually being in the match. Corey Graves has tapped out Bray Wyatt. And he's been booed out of the building. The next match is Corey Graves versus Adrian Neville. 2 out of 3 falls. Here he comes, Corey Graves. He's out to the ring again.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. The first superstar to get 2 falls will win the match. Making his way to the ring from the Sunset Strip, weight 208 pounds, Corey Graves.
Corey Graves is a man who has undergone a significant change in attitude in just a matter of a few weeks. Yeah, well, that's putting it mildly. Corey Graves and Adrian Neville were NXT Tag Team Champions, but after they were unable to reclaim the gold, Graves just snapped and he turned on his partner.
There he is on his way to the ring. I do like 2 out of 3 falls matches occasionally. Well, I do like them when they're done occasionally. He's sweating. Look at that sheen on his body on the way to the ring. Must be hot in the NXT Arena. I was trying to read what that blue sign said. But the person's put it down. There's a sign for Neville. Red arrow. Can't see too many signs for Corey Graves. Justin Roberts is looking good. Look at his tie. You can check out the Neville playthrough as well. 5 playthroughs in this Who's Got NXT mode. Sorry, Who Got NXT? Not Who's Got NXT, Who Got NXT?
And approaching the ring from Newcastle upon Tyne, weighing 194 pounds, Adrian Neville.
I guarantee you that Adrian Neville is more focused than ever on this matchup. You don't have to agree with it, Cole. It was just a few short weeks ago that Corey Graves tried to take Adrian Neville out for good with a post-match attack.
So you can play as Sami Zayn, Neville, Rusev, Corey Graves and Bo Dallas. And let me tell you, the Sami Zayn playthrough was the hardest. Well, check out the NXT Arena. Are we at Full Sail University? We might be, I don't know.
As we get started here, keep a close eye on the injured leg of Adrian Neville. I have a feeling we'll know if it's healed very... As we get started here, keep a close eye on the injured leg of Adrian Neville. I have a feeling we'll know if it's healed very early on. Yeah, and given that Corey Graves is a submission specialist, you would think he'd be targeting the leg that he injured just a few short weeks ago. You have to wonder if Adrian Neville should have even agreed to this match, King. I agree.
If his legs are bad, why did he start with full health on his legs? He should have started on yellow. It's going to be quite a similar match to last time because we have to critically damage Neville's legs. Which is a lot of knee bars, a lot of shin breakers. And Neville already doesn't seem to be countering as much as Bray Wyatt did.
Do we know an injury report on Adrian Neville? Because if we know it, you can bet Corey Graves knows it. And that will undoubtedly determine his offense here tonight. We do know there was some bruising and some straining involved. Basically, the doctors have said it all comes down to how much pain Adrian Neville can tolerate. Well, come on. Adrian Neville isn't going to back out of an opportunity to exact revenge from Corey Graves just because of a bum leg. You know that, Cole. These two were partners, they were friends, heck, they were champions. How does somebody just flip like Corey Graves has? Well, something's not right with Corey Graves. I suspect he's overcome by jealousy of Adrian Neville. You know, be jealous, that's fine, but to attack your close friend the way Corey Graves did, that's just appalling. Reversal, Adrian Neville showing his prowess. Graves gets out of trouble and quickly.
Probably have to do some other moves as well because if I just attack the legs, I don't think I can pin him just damaging legs. I don't think you get a pinfall victory on legs.
Corey Graves.
Jumping armbar.
Ridiculous maneuver by Corey Graves.
Running chop block. Dragon screw. Just try kneeing him in the head. I don't even know what Corey Graves' other finisher is. Does he have a standing finisher?
Oh,
nope.
Man. Like a shark smelling blood, Corey Graves is taking it to Adrian Neville. And check out the look of sheer joy and excitement on Corey Graves' face. He's loving every minute of this. Yeah, well, this is where we're going to find out what Adrian Neville is made of, Cole.
Oh no. Finish your taunt. It's a long taunt.
And he gets back in the ring. Oh. Nicely avoided there.
Boot to my face. Cannonball. Done by Kevin Owens. And actually done even better by Shane Thorne, who has a new Outback gimmick as well. He's gone the Nikki Cross route of just coming up with something different for himself. Had that really unfortunate run of Slapjack. It's a real shame Retribution didn't really take off as it could have.
This is a true grudge match.
Because there were excellent members in that stable. They just really ended up a little bit like the Ravens flock where they just never won.
Can he do it? And a kick out of two.
My favorite Ravens flock story is when, because it was Raven, Billy Kidman, Sick Boy, was it Reno as well? I can't remember who was in Raven's flock. But Raven went to Kevin Sullivan, who was the booker at the time, and said, "Oh, Kevin, please just give my guys a little bit of a break. Can we just win something? We lose all the time. We need some credibility." And in typical Kevin Sullivan fashion went, "Some must die so that others may live," which I thought was absolutely amazing. Pin him.
We got to cover. Two. And he gets into the ropes. In an early kick out of this unusual matchup. Oh! He just planted it with a DDT.
Big DDT. Spinning blockbuster.
He scored with that one. I mean, there is nothing like seeing somebody go flying through the air.
Give him that weird lung blower.
Reversal. Adrian Neville showing his prowess.
Well, it's not a lung blower, but it's kind of a Death Valley driver into a backbreaker. Death Valley backbreaker.
Oh, ouch. No, he kicks out at 2.
He still kicks out.
And he hits the drop kick. What impact. Tie up. This is about skill and power. Ow, that's gotta hurt. Reversal. Adrian Neville showing his prowess.
Knee DT.
And I think he's begging him to bring it.
I assume Neville has to win the second fall.
What a shot. Ooh. What's he gonna do here? What's he gonna do here? Did you hear how his leg connected? Into the collar and elbow tie-up. Only one can come out
They
ahead.
want to win this first fall pretty soon.
Nice move. Going to the
Oh no.
top wrist. Heads up.
He's caught me in a powerbomb. That is incredible.
Showing his prowess.
Another knee DT. This is a long time without a fall. If he pins me, I'm going to be annoyed.
He's going for the pin. Referee barely had time to begin a count there. You are watching NXT as the WWE searches for its next breakout superstar.
Pin him. Oh, he's on his way up. How can I pin him?
He was able to reverse that. Oh, that elbow's gotta hurt.
Pin him with a rollover suplex.
His opponent right to Adrian Neville with a close call there.
I can't pin him. I can't pin him with anything. I'm going to pin him with this.
Here's a cover. 2, 3.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh man, like a shark smelling blood. Corey Graves is taking it to Adrian Neville.
Also got 3 finishes, so I don't have to give him a fall.
He's loving every minute of this.
So this should be it.
We're gonna find out what Adrian Neville is made of.
Could have let him in a red arrow just to even it up. I've got 3 finishes, so it should be enough.
No, it's time to fight out or tap out, King.
Unless he got some recovery back. Did he get stamina back after the fall?
I don't believe
Oh no, he's red.
we're seeing. This guy's just going from one painful move to another. Timber, and he falls hard.
At least we can put it on 3 times.
He's going to give up. He's got to give up. No one can get out of this. This is
2-0
such a
Corey
painful
Graves.
moment.
2-0 Corey Graves.
Corey Graves wins.
I thought they were going to make you even it up 1 fall apiece.
Corey.
Graves.
Corey Graves is a big win over his former partner. Yeah, Graves certainly looked impressive tonight. However, let's not forget that he did soften Neville up a few weeks ago.
Graves is victorious once again on NXT. He's got 1 match to go. 1 match to go. Is it at a pay-per-view? It probably isn't because it's before the TakeOver special era. The final match is Corey Graves versus Sami Zayn. 2 signatures. Critically damage all of Zayn's limbs. This could take forever. Here he comes, Corey Graves.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall. Making his way to the ring from the Sunset Strip, weight 208 pounds, Corey Graves.
It was just 2 weeks ago that this guy, Corey Graves, bounced Sami Zayn's head off the steel ring post. Yeah, Corey Graves just has an air of pure menace about him, doesn't he, Cody? Yep. I mean, just look at those eyes.
I don't think Corey Graves ever appeared on a TakeOver because I think he retired just as the TakeOver era was starting. So this isn't TakeOver, this is just regular NXT. Corey Graves versus Sami Zayn. We're going to have to hit the running chop block the Death Valley Driver backbreaker or the Death Valley backbreaker and then see what happens. Justin Roberts hasn't changed his tie from last week. Come on, Justin. Where's your yellow tie? Where's your NXT tie? There is a Corey Graves sign though, which is fantastic. And we get the most amazing entrance music in Sami Zayn, which I hope he still uses. I think he does. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And approaching the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing 193 pounds, Sami Zayn.
When Corey Graves called out Sami Zayn a few weeks back, Zayn came out and said, I didn't know you had an issue with me, but if you want to go, let's go.
Sami Zayn is not one to back down from anybody. We've seen that time and time again.
Sami Zayn in Ring of Honor and Chikara from 05 to 2012. In WWE since 2013, was NXT Champion, 2-time Intercontinental Champion, Ring of Honor TV Champion, Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, Pro Wrestling Gorilla, how did you say Gorilla? Champion on 2 occasions. Had one of my favourite ladder matches at Ring of Honor Man Up in 2007, the Briscoes versus Kevin Steen and El Generico.
And look how cool and confident Corey Graves was.
Well, he should look confident. He has the goods and he knows it.
But he's going up against the same man that beat him 2 weeks ago right here on NXT.
Cannonball.
Really gained some ground here.
Shane Thorne does an amazing cannonball.
He got it. He's putting those educated feet to good use. He does it again. And he reversed it. Good move there.
I'm going to say Sami Zayn is going to counter a lot of my stuff. I've just got to work on all the body parts.
With the reversal.
You know, Cole, when you see Corey Graves, you see a guy with movie star good looks like myself. I mean, a guy who attracts attention the moment he walks into a room. And despite all that, he was left off NXT Arrival, and it's eating him up.
Oh, NXT Arrival, so there was one pay-per-view could have been on. Oh no.
Regardless of who he hurts along the way.
Well, Sami Zayn can attest to that. You know, Graves was forcing his way into the spotlight when he rammed Zayn's head into the ring post a few weeks ago.
King, it's been well documented that Sami Zayn craves to the respect of his peers. He spent years perfecting his craft, and now
29 countries he's wrestled in.
Yeah, and on the
29 countries.
Graves couldn't care less about giving anybody, particularly Sami Zayn, an ounce of respect.
And he's showing that here with his vicious attack on Sami Zayn. He gets out of trouble there. And here's Corey Graves.
Oh, out of nowhere! He anticipated that move perfectly. Well, ironically, these two guys shared very similar paths to get to NXT. Both are very well traveled, and both have about 12 years apiece in this industry.
And despite the very similar paths, both have very, very different personalities.
Oh, you got that right. But I'll say one thing on the topic of personality. Sami Zayn does not appear to be his usual happy-go-lucky self here tonight. He means business. Corey Graves delivers the pain in an astonishing fashion, folks. Oh, ouch. Corey Graves seizes the opportunity. We know that Sami Zayn passed an impact test in order to be able to compete here tonight.
An impact test.
Taking this match was a
Sounds like a dig.
You probably know better than anybody that just because Sami Zayn was cleared to compete doesn't mean that he's at 100% right now.
Well, you're right, Cole. Sometimes superstars let their machismo or their ego get in the way of making the right decision. Now, this may be one of those instances. The right choice may have been to sit this one out.
Just waiting for the King to stop going on. 2 amazing Sami Zayn moments that I love. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have been fired and they're asking Kurt Angle for a job on Raw. And he says, oh, I'm sorry, I got nothing for you, but I hear TNA are hiring, which was amazing. And then there's a segment on Raw where... Just concentrating.
Turning it around, it's Sami Zayn with the reversal.
Segment on Raw where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are interviewing Kurt Angle and they're listing through Kurt's children. Go, Kurt, how many children have you got? 5? 6? 6? Oh, 6.
deems is wrong with the system.
Well, Corey Graves
We forgot about Jason Jordan.
Talked about every night. He thinks he should be the one with the spotlight on him.
Well,
And they're like, don't worry, Kurt forgot about him too. Amazing.
He seems dazed. He's confused. Nice reversal there.
Kobe clutch.
Here we go. He's hanging on for dear life.
Oh, he's going to have to block out the pain if he hopes to escape this.
Okay, what else do I need to turn red? Paint the roses red.
Just the
arms.
display.
Paint Sammy's body
I
red.
think we could see a lot of punishment inflicted here.
Half dragon suplex. Kick to the face. Drop kick to the face. I need to hit my other signature. Get up.
This could be huge.
That should do it right there.
Oh no, got to
What? Ooh.
need to get another finisher, another signature.
Did you hear how his leg connected?
Sammy was just in control for too long.
Bam, another kick. A DDT. What a kick that was. Just trying to goad his opponent into making a mistake here.
Boy, he is really tired now. That tank of his has to be raining empty.
It has to be King, but I still don't see him giving up.
Yes. Death belly backbreaker.
That's it. He's out.
Submit Zayn with a lucky 13. Well, I got 3 finishes. Oh no. A loop kick.
Whoa.
No way.
No. Where's my counter? Kick out.
WWE Universe, folks.
Oh, rope break saved me.
And he kicks out.
Oh no, weird octopus stretch.
The motivation for Corey Graves taking out Sami Zayn a few weeks ago was to grab what he believed was his fair share of the spotlight. And he got his wish.
But as the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. That tactic may be coming back.
Armbar, Fujiwara armbar.
Yeah, well, Corey Graves is a master strategist. He had something up his sleeve that night, and despite what he may look like now, I'm willing to
missed
bet
that drop
he
kick.
has something up his sleeve here tonight, too.
Half dragon suplex.
See that, Cole? Talk about getting your spine adjusted.
I can't.
Jeez.
I can't counter.
We got a cover.
And there's still plenty of fight left.
Finally, there we go.
Oh, mama.
Oof. These are some tough matches. Oh, I counted again.
A beat down. I'm not sure how much more anyone would be able to take. Uh-oh, look at this. Trying to put him away.
I'm not impressed. I am not impressed at all. I didn't realize I could counter
He's
that.
done. And that one hurt his hand. Oh.
Corey Graves taken down hard.
Oh, it's like there's a bulldozer in there with him, Cole.
In trouble.
I would do the OMG moment, but I need my finisher.
Raining down huge fists like there's no tomorrow. 5. And he gets back in.
No!
Oh, there's the cover. Can he do it?
I can't believe I counted.
His shoulders are down. 2.
DDT again. I can't do my finisher because I've got a signature.
Hey.
Oh, you do not get up from that.
Look at this.
Oh, unbelievable. Don't be on the ropes, don't be on the ropes. Oh, how have I won? That is amazing.
He's wearing him
Woo!
down with a very effective
What a
submission
match.
hold.
5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars.
Things must come to an end. But I wish that match could have gone on a little longer.
Unbelievable.
Here is your winner, Corey Graves.
Corey Graves picks up a huge victory over Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from Corey Graves, but I have to wonder if Sami Zayn was physically ready for this match.
I think overall that was the hardest Who Got NXT mode. The Sami Zayn one was hard, but only the final match This had a couple of hard matches in. Anyway, it's been Crabman from Crabman Gaming. Thank you so much for joining. If you click a like down the bottom, that'd be awesome. If you subscribe, thank you, but you don't have to. And if you comment, I will comment back. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be Bo Dallas.